What did the Hobbits get out of their carefully orchestrated regime change in Lake Town? Nukes. A small weapon capable of securing them power over the entire continent. Something that Mr. Baggins conveniently leaves out of his book, describing it as a mere trifle of a magical ring that renders the wearer invisible to sonar. But fortunately, not to Nazgar. Then as soon as the candidate to be their puppet king was secured and groomed by Mr. the Grey, Bilbo's next work would be the translation of Elvish texts that all shockingly outlined how this scrappy ranger from the north, in fact, not only had royal heritage dating back to the First Age, a conveniently unverifiable claim, but also the clearest claim to the throne of the most powerful kingdom of man. A kingdom which sat in literal geographic opposition to the Hobbit's primary target, Mordor. The crux of the claim completely nested on a single ring. Not even a magical one, just a really cool ring. I mean, look at it. No corroborating evidence, just the translation by Mr. Bilbo Baggins himself, whose cousin-nephew would install this very same king, Aragorn, the tall man whose finger bore that very royal ring, described in Bilbo's propaganda. How convenient. The Baggins cousins built a false royal legacy through literature alone. So after installing their false puppet king, Elisar they now called him, an Elvish name used to invoke the now deposed powers of the past, the 4 Hobbit assassin terrorists and their manservant returned to the Shire to once again set the propaganda machine in motion. And what do Hobbits do best? Assassinate political figures, obviously. But after that, smoke pipeweed. But after that, write. The Lord of the Rings, they called it. An epic by their standards, cataloging the heroic deeds of their Fellowship strike team and the righteous mission to destroy the evil Mordor Alliance and its traitorous lieutenant Saruman of Isengard. How easily they twisted their terrorist attacks and political maneuverings into happenstance, inventing Ents, something we all know can't and do not exist, to cover up dam bombings, and further cementing the political claims of Aragorn Elisar, adding fantastical claims of elven heritage, magical long life, superhuman strength, and a super hot princess wife. Most cunning of all, they invented the perfect hero, Samwise Gamgee. There are many who debate, did Samwise even exist? Could such a ray of positivity, endurance, and hope truly walk among us? No. This was their Uber Hobbit, a lower-class, hard-working soul with a heart of gold that was not ambitious, intelligent, nor aggressive. Exactly what they wanted the world to think they were. Remember, Frodo was the wealthiest hobbit in the Shire. Meriadoc Brandybuck and Peregrine Took were both moneyed members of the landed gentry. In what world would they be carousing with a lower-class hedge trimmer? They wouldn't. Samwise never existed. The real 4th member of the Frodo Four was none other than one Fredegar Fatty Bolger, who the text conveniently has disappear in Book 1, Chapter 11, and suspiciously resurfaces in Book 6, Chapter 9, when he is found in an alleged prison, having conveniently missed all the war crimes. It is further well known that hobbits have never practiced corporal punishment, and in fact just withhold beer as a form of remediation, which most hobbits describe as a fate worse than death. And by the way, if you want to know what beer they were withholding, most likely in their not prisons, check out our video up here for what they were drinking. Most damning of all, in all subsequent audiovisual adaptations, Fatty Bolger is completely omitted. It's as if they're trying to make all trace of him disappear from history, when in fact, Fatty Bolger may have been the architect of the entire operation, in concert with Gandalf the Grey and the deep pockets and inkwells of the Baggins cousins. Do you think it's a coincidence that King Elisar immediately put a ban on other folks from stepping foot into the Shire? That was the endgame all along. They had finally completed building their impenetrable shield of political power, economic dominance, and idyllic green hills. Then they also included a whole chapter on the history of pipeweed in the Shire for some reason. They really love their pipeweed. So what do you think? Did the Hobbits pull off the perfect coup, or did they slip up in the final execution? Because, you might be asking yourself, what about the scourging of the Shire? You remember when Saruman returned to the Shire with a band of man-orcs and enslaved the local population? Or, I don't know, maybe that's just a story you read in a book once. Maybe actually a certain white wizard and former ally of the Hobbits, not knowing that the instruments of his destruction were not in fact 40-foot-tall tree men, but 4-foot-tall dam-busting terrorists, sought the last bastion of security he had left, the Shire. Maybe the Hobbits, realizing that Saruman was too dangerous to be left alive, given his knowledge of their secret trade alliance and the danger that knowledge posed to their new world order, decided that they had only one course of action: write a new story. They couldn't take him out directly. Remember, their arms were way too short. So instead, they offered an exchange. They would give him freedom and protection in exchange for further technological insights. This led to an industrial revolution in the Shire and a rapid expansion of factory infrastructure. This supposed slavery, as it says in the text, was in fact more akin to wage slavery, as capitalist fervor gripped the Shire and the Hobbits finally shed their cloak of pastoral innocence and embraced their technological supremacy. With the smokescreen of "Saruman corrupted us," the Hobbits rewrote this period of their history, casting themselves as the victims in this rapid expansion. Then, as they always do, the Hobbits hired someone with longer arms to do some stabbing. And Saruman, the last remaining witness to the true story of the Hobbits' rise, was dead. Or he, turned into a cloud or something. We're pretty sure that means dead, though. He's a Maya. So what do you think? Was the scourging of the Shire a terrible example of war leaving no innocent untouched? Or was it an inside job from a savvy, conniving, murderous, short cabal of cloistered, industrial, technologically advanced, pipe-smoking, beer-drinking, hairy-footed hobbits? Well, my friend, if you're asking those kinds of questions like we are, you might just be a little lost in the speculations. Oh shit, it's actually this way. Hi, thank you all so much for watching. We've been trying some new stuff with our content, so if you dug this, let us know in the comments below so we can keep doing it. If you hated it, please also let us know in the comments as well so we can fight you. Either way, thank you so much for watching. Please just like and subscribe. Check out our other more straightforward content where we break down the beers, wines, and ales of Middle-earth. We just released a super long form of what they're drinking in the Shire. We got content on Mordor and Gondor as well. And we're about to go into some other fandoms too. Sneak peek, or it's already going on, depending on when this is released. We might have some Starfleet Somm stuff happening, so check that out. Thanks again so much for watching. Keep on drinking your nerddom.